学生们好. This is the first of 7 mini lectures covering materials that are introduced in the introduction of Integrated Chinese, Book 1, Part 1, 3rd edition. In this mini lecture, I'm going to give a quick overview of the components of a Chinese syllable. And this is particularly important because the Chinese syllable is the basic unit of meaning in the Chinese language. And once you learn the possible combinations and then go on to learn the changes within that, then you've got the Chinese system, the Chinese sound system down. All right, we're going to do an overview of the Chinese syllable. The Chinese syllable has 3 components. So each syllable has 3 components. It has, first of all, an initial, and that will be a consonant. And there are 21 different initials altogether. Okay? Second of all, you will have a final. And a final will be, there can be a simple final, which is just a vowel, a single vowel, or it can be a compound final, which would be a vowel-vowel or vowel-consonant combination. There are 6 simple finals, and out of those 6 simple finals, we could have up to 30. We have 30 compound finals. Now, finally, and this is what makes Chinese language different from some of the Romance languages or Western languages that we're used to, another essential element of the Chinese syllable is a tone. And there are 4 tones altogether. 5 if you include the neutral tone, which is really just a neutral sound. We'll talk more about neutral tones when we talk about tones. Okay, looking more deeply into the syllabic structure, there are a number of possible combinations. You could have a 0 initial plus a final. And so no consonant, just start with a final. In this case, ah, that's one possibility. And here are 2 characters. I'm going to point to them here. 2 characters that are just that. And one is, you can combine it with a tone to give it the 3rd piece, and you have ah, okay, that's this one. Or here's a neutral tone, which is hard to say by itself, but ah, okay, and that is there. Okay, so we can have also another possibility would be an initial, that's a consonant, with a simple final. And remember, there are 6 of them. We'll be talking about those in a later lecture. One possibility would be the sound f, and the simple final ah. We can add characters that go with it, but also then that will give us a tone. And so, for example, for this character, that corresponds to fa, pronounced with the first tone, fa, okay? And that's this character. This character right here. Then we could have with a second tone, a sound that corresponds to this second character right here. And that would be pronounced fa, fa. Okay. We can have an initial with a compound final. And remember, there's 2 different possibilities for compound finals. We could have a vowel-vowel combination. And in this case, it's e plus a, ya. We can add the initial, which in this case is ji. So ji, ya, jia. And here is a character family that corresponds to first tone, jia, jia. Here is a character that means shell, and this would be pronounced in 3rd tone with the same combination. So jia, jia. And to a Chinese native speaker, jia and jia sound like 2 completely different sounds. Okay? Then finally, we could have a compound final that is made up of a vowel and a consonant sound. In this case, this sound here, which we'll talk more about when we get to compound finals. So this is yang, yang, and we add the initial G again, and a possibility might be first tone, jiang, jiang, and here are two different characters, both of which are pronounced first tone, jiang. One means river, the other can mean general. So let's go on a little bit more. You can see that there are many different characters that might correspond to the same sound, but here's some examples. So here we have the four sounds, ma, 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 and ma. And here are four different characters. The initial ma with ah first tone, ma. We have here, ma. Sometimes it's repeated, mama. Take a guess what that means, mom. Okay, here we have ma, that sound with a second tone, ma, and here's one character that goes with that sound, and it means hemp. So it's the character that gives you the meaning, not the sound, because there can be very, very many homophones. The Chinese is a language with lots of homophones, and you really have to see the character to know which the meaning is. And then here we have ma, that's ma with a third tone, ma, and here is one character that has that sound, and this is a pictograph, which means it looks a little bit like the meaning of it, and in this case it's horse. So here you see the four legs and the mane flowing out. Okay, finally we have this combination of ah, fourth tone, ma, and we have this character that is pronounced ma and means scold. So with this ma, ma, and ma, and another addition, another character, we can have some fun and make a sentence that has exactly, for us, the same sound, but you change the tone and it changes the meaning, and also you need to see the characters to make it make complete sense. So we have a sentence that is pronounced, is said, mama, ma, mama, and this means, did mom scold the horse? So we can have a lot of fun with playing with these homophones, and the Chinese do. And we'll see more of this kind of wordplay as we go along and study the Chinese language. Okay, that's the end of mini lecture number 1 that introduced the components of a Chinese syllable, the structure of a Chinese syllable. You can go on now and watch mini lecture number 2, which will introduce you to the simple finals.